Hey, hold on real quick. Hold on. Pause.
What I really wanted to kind of get into was how everybody's responding to it in the media, figureheads out there. Of course, the president. Once the looting starts, the shooting starts. Probably don't have to say too much more than that. Won't give him too much airtime. But just it's seeing the way that different people have approached speaking on this. I know one thing that you mentioned earlier, Jock, was or maybe it was you, Chance, with the Antifa and going after them. Did y'all see Bones Jones? John Jones?
I actually respected that, man, because, like, we need more of that. Once we see somebody's doing something wrong, try to stop it if you can,
Of course, J.R. Smith, too.
And that's Bones Jones, so nobody's going to mess with him,
Yeah, John Bones Jones, for people watching or listening, basically going up to these Antifa people, demanding them to give his spray cans back.
And that's one thing I want to say, too, like, listeners out there and viewers, like, when you see stuff like this, don't condone that. Don't, when people try to, like, start enticing things, like riots and all this, don't condone that. That's not the message we're trying to, like, send,
And don't be a passive. I mean, don't stay safe. But if you have any means of controlling the situation, try to prevent stuff like that happening.
Right. It's like
everybody's Bones Jones, but if you can, hey, y'all chill out. Don't do that. Something.
Right. Just like Chance, when we were at the protest and that white lady came by, wherever she was, and started like yelling and saying some random shit, trying to like entice people, and you were like, yeah, that's one of the people you have to like watch out for, because they'll try to like start shit for no reason, Like, you gotta just watch out when you see.
Yeah, because it's people out there doing that shit. I saw a video, man, of cops tearing up their own like a utility vehicle. Like, they were tearing this motherfucker up, and like people calling them out, because everybody has cameras. That's the one good thing about these things, man. Like, like the recording and shit. Motherfuckers, y'all keep recording. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're there, like, if you want to be a quasi journalist or whatever, do that shit.
I say do something if you can.
But I mean, like, the best thing that they really can do is keep those fucking cameras rolling, because it shows that's straight up evidence of the wrongdoing.
This is our weapon. This is one of our greatest weapons right now. Like,
get on live, get on Facebook Live, all that shit, man.
People have to realize these people. This is also our First Amendment and Constitution. We have the right to record. Like, they can't take this unless they have like a warrant. It's like, know your policy, like know your amendments and stuff too.
Yeah, know the law, man.
LeBron shared this video of a protest in Colorado. I want to, before I get into the context of it, look at how many people there are, right? It's like, man, I hope shit doesn't go down, because that's a lot of people. But no, they're just speaking, kind of like what you guys had, Friday. We're just a lot of people just out there speaking their piece.
Right. People, and they're all laying down.
I would say though, at the same time, with it being said that, well, that's a lot of people or whatever, it's more of us than it is of them. If they're gonna shoot those fucking paintball guns at you or whatnot, fucking, like, they're hitting you with them anyway. Like, rush the motherfuckers, man. Like, I saw some shit that it was like this, guy counter protesting or whatever with a counter sign. So, the kids, they were grabbing at his sign or whatever. He was like wanting to fight. He like hit one kid, and then they just rushed us, and they just started beating this nigga fuck up. And then I saw another video. This old ass dude got out of his car, like in the middle of this, march or whatever, with a bow and arrow, and started fucking like pulling back and aiming at it. He got out of his car, like he came down there, got out of his car and started aiming fucking bow and arrow at people. And so he shot one. As soon as he shot that one out, they rushed the fuck out of him, beat the shit out this old ass man. You know what I'm saying?
Let's not incite violence, though. Like,
I don't want to incite violence, because the violence has already been incited. I can't incite anything that's already happening. Like, but because I'm just describing you two videos that I've seen. Like,
right. But let's talk about the topics, though. Enough about let's stop giving those people airtime. Let's talk about the real things.
Right. Well, yeah, like the responses, like what Trump said today.
Yeah, so I mean, basically his comments were just focused on, the election, his name, trying to put water on Joe Biden, basically, in light of all this, instead of speaking to the issues and the topics. And one thing that really impressed me, you know, I'm very in the middle. I don't really have much of a, you know, one way or the other. I just kind of call it like I see it. I wasn't the biggest Obama fan, but I will say he is a great leader. And I mean, just to speak to that today, he put out an article on Medium, how to make this moment the turning point for real change, and pretty much said everything that we need somebody to say, somebody with a platform, like a leader to say, you know, basically like, hey, first, the waves of protests across the country represent a genuine and legitimate frustration over a decades-long failure to reform police practices and the broader criminal justice system in the United States. Like, just right there, look, this is why this stuff's happening. I'm not saying it's all right, but there's something behind it, right? You know, and then later on, you know, I've heard some suggest that the recurrent problem of racial bias in our criminal justice system proves that only protest and direct action can bring about change, and that voting and participation in electoral politics is a waste of time. I couldn't disagree more. So, Jock, that goes right back to what you were saying.
Exactly. So, like, I was gonna piggyback off what you're saying. To me, that's a great leader. That's what needs to be said, like, right now in the midst of all these like hardships and times that we're going through. You know, and I just don't understand why people can't prep Trump to say shit like that. You know, it just doesn't make sense to me, bro. You're the leader of the free world right now, and he got on here and literally made no comments towards like what's going on, no nothing. Just went straight to military and like, you know, what you were talking about with Biden, Mike. And it's just, I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt today. Like maybe he'll change, and like I wanted to see like something positive, but it wasn't. You know, and he like continues to like let everybody down. You know. And so just I have no more hope for him personally, like at all. And after this, like seeing this, and then, you know, just to
I was gonna say that's laughable. You hope.
Yeah, just to like, you know, see him do all this so he can take like a photo shoot, you know, in front of a church. Like, come on, bro. Like, we got bigger issues like to worry about, and you worried about a fucking photo op right now. Like, it doesn't make sense to me at all.
Well, and you know, Obama continues in this article, you know, his last call to action really is, you know, finally, the more specific we can make demands for criminal justice and police reform, the harder it will be for elected officials to just offer lip service to the cause and then fall back into business as usual once protests have gone away.
Right. Like you said, it brings you back to what I was saying about the voting, knowing your policies. You know, that's the most important shit. Like, not the president, like that's whatever, but voting locally, like for your state, that's more important in my, like where you live at, that's more important. That's what we got to start doing as a unit. Once we do that as a unit, like things will start changing even more, you know?
Not even on the state level, I mean locally too, man. Like that's really the most important, because that's literally where you live, you know. Those local elections are the most important elections. People got to understand, like the chief of police answers directly to the mayor. You know, the mayor can shut all that shit down. It doesn't take internal affairs or anything like that, man. Like, you know, like fucking write your mayors and your state representatives and your councilmen and all that stuff. I mean, get out there. Those are the people that really should be on the front lines of this stuff. Because I mean, this stuff it's happening at a local level. Yeah, it's happening at a global level, or I would say a national level, for sure. But I mean, we got to hold these people accountable.